Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Kevin Cash and the Rays are ready to begin the second stanza of the 2016 campaign. Led by Evan Longoria, coming off one of the best first halves of his career. And buoyed by the return of Platinum Glove winner Kevin Kiermaier, the Rays look to turn their fortunes around starting tonight. Tonight at Tropicana Field, the Rays begin the proverbial second half of the season. With 74 games left, the Rays will open a three-game series at home tonight at the Trop, hosting the first place Baltimore Orioles. And Kevin Kiermaier returns to the lineup for the Rays tonight. First time since he was injured in that series in Detroit. That was 48 games ago. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Good to see you again, all refreshed after the All-Star break. And it is good news to see Kevin Kiermaier in that lineup finally for the Rays.
Yeah, listen, bring a shot of life back to this team, so that they could sorely need. Went into the All-Star break limping. They come out after 4 days off. Kevin Kiermaier back in the lineup. He brings so much to this team that you really can't quantify in numbers. You look at number one, his defense, what he's going to do out there in center field, the ground that he's able to cover. That's certainly going to be a huge help to the pitching staff. But not only that, he makes the corner outfielders even better because of that ground that he covers. They aren't asked to do as much, and therefore they're better off. On top of his platinum glove defense, you start to think about his speed, the fact that he's still developing as a base stealer, but it's plays like this. It's taking seemingly an innocent single, a ground ball up the middle, and turning it into a double. First to third, first to home. Anytime this guy gets on base, he's going to make something happen. He's going to keep pitchers involved in trying to keep him where he's at. Brings a lot of energy to this team, too, on top of everything else. Like I said, the slide that they went into the All-Star break with, they come out, they can use this infusion of life, and this is a guy who plays hard every second of every game that he is in, and certainly this team can feed off of that and hopefully get this second half off to a great start.
Rays have also made two other roster moves, one on the mound and one behind the plate. We've seen them before. The veteran right-hander Kevin Jepson will be in that bullpen for the Rays. And behind the plate from the Rays minor league system, Luke Maile. Rich Hollenberg has more on those roster moves in a moment.
another Kevin who's new to the Rays clubhouse, who's generating some significant buzz in that clubhouse. That Kevin is Kevin Jepsen, the reliever, returning to the Rays after being released by the Minnesota Twins. If you remember Jepsen from last year with Tampa Bay, had a 2.81 ERA in his time with the Rays. Rays also calling up catcher Luke Maile from AAA Durham. He's been swinging a hot bat as of late. The last month, a 3.19 average. Both players excited to return to the Trop.
Obviously, we saw Jep really good last year. He pitched a ton of big innings for us. But overall, the way he carries himself, he's some veteran leadership in the bullpen and throughout the club. Everybody has so much respect for him. So excited to have him back. I think he's excited to be back here. And obviously his first half wasn't as good as maybe he would have liked. But we think we can help him and he can help us and get it going for us.
Obviously, it's really special. I'm totally pumped about it. We're going into the second half. Hopefully, we can make a little bit of noise. I've been looking forward to this day. Now that it's here, just ready to play ball.
Well, here's some silver linings. Since 2010, the Rays have the second best record of any American League team after the All-Star break. We have under 3 minutes till the first pitch of the start of the post-All-Star break 2016 season. They kick-started again against the Orioles right after this.
Chris Archer heads to the mound for the Rays tonight against this Baltimore Orioles ball club, running 2 games up in the American League East. And tonight's lineup for Baltimore presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Adam Jones leads off. He'll be followed by Jonathan Scope. Manny Machado hits third. Chris Davis clean up in front of Mark Trumbo. Matt Wieters behind the plate. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, hits seventh. The DH, Pedro Alvarez. Joey Rickard is in left. He'll bat ninth.
Well, you can't do anything about the season numbers, but for Chris Archer coming off of the All-Star break, 4 days, hit the reset button. There's nothing to be gleaned from these numbers except what not to do, and Chris Archer will look to get out there on the right foot here tonight, aggressive in the zone.
And here's Adam Jones to lead it off. First pitch of this game, up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Underway here at 10 minutes past the hour. Pitch up and Jones chases. 1-1 the count. Well, we always keep an eye on Chris Archer in the first, and the series of first few pitches here, because they tend to be up as he tries to get the ball down. This one a high pop fly short left. Geyer coming in, better angle, and he makes the catch.
Well, let's take a look at that Rays defense tonight, see how it's going to set up. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source, and in the outfield left to right we have Brandon Geyer, of course the return of Kevin Kiermaier and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield third to first, Longoria, Miller, Forsythe, and Morrison, with Luke Maile behind the plate.
There's Kevin Kiermaier in center field for the first time since May the 21st in Detroit. Jonathan Scope cutting the miss on the slider. Well, or was that a change?
That was a change up, and if you remember, if you go back to maybe Chris Archer's best start of the year, 6 2/3 scoreless against this lineup with 10 strikeouts. It was change-ups early and often that really threw this lineup out of kilter, kept them off balance. We saw a change-up on the fly ball to Geyer already, and then the first pitch change-up here to Jonathan Scope. 2 early ones already. Keep your eye on that.
Yeah, that was on the 25th of April here. After some struggles, there's a hot shot foul ball. The count advances to 1-2. You know, he gave up no runs, 5 hits, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 10 in that outing.
Yeah, the changeup played a prominent role in that ball game, especially early. Kind of set the tone.
Now to play beyond the bullpen. Well, there is a school of thought that advances the idea of a few more changeups in his performances.
Why not? He's got a good one when he uses it. So why not mix it in? Give these guys something else to think about. What it's going to do is give them another pitch to have to contend with, because he's good enough to throw it for strikes and to make you honor it. And on top of that, the changeup, a good changeup will add a mile an hour or two to your fastball. All of a sudden that 95 feels like 97. The 96, 97, you know, you're talking about a fastball that plays like it's 99.
It seems like a really good idea. And I know we've discussed this to a point before. When he's good, his fastball and slider are so good he never gets to the changeup. But he's 4-12.
Yeah.
And so maybe if you factor that changeup in, then the results will be a little better. Two now.
Well, it's certainly a pitch that you have to figure out how do I get it in? How do I mix it in seamlessly? And it seems like that's been a struggle for Chris, because like you said, the fastballs here, the slider, well, those pitches are so good at times that I don't need that third pitch. But how about that one?
And there's a cut and a miss. So he strikes out Scope. 2 up, 2 down.
And another good changeup right here. 87 miles an hour, and you see how far out in front Scope is and over the top. Would you call that a shimmy? It was close to a shimmy.
Yeah, and maybe a shake. 2 gone with the bases empty. Here's Manny Machado. Fastball, strike 1. So a fly ball to left and a strikeout. 2 up, 2 down in the first. Right back into the screen. You know, in the start we referenced that happened to be against Baltimore here on the 25th of April. He did put together a 1-2-3 first after coming off a tough outing against the Red Sox at Fenway. And so here we are, 0-2 the count to Machado. Upstairs, it's a ball and 2 strikes. And so Chris Archer pitching against the Orioles, coming off that outing against Boston in which he lost 6-5. Two, there's the slider. Two and two now. And he got it. Fastball. So he goes 1, 2, 3. Combination of all 3 of his pitches. Top of the first for Chris Archer against Baltimore. Rays coming in to hit. We'll take a look at their lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Logan Forsythe leads it off, then Brad Miller and Evan Longoria. Logan Morrison, Steven Souza Jr., and Corey Dickerson down the middle. Brandon Guyer, Kevin Kiermaier, and Luke Maile completing the Rays lineup.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Baltimore Orioles is going to be right-hander Yovani Gallardo. His season interrupted, missed about 2 months with right shoulder biceps tendonitis, making just his 10th start of the season. The record very good at 3-1, looking to improve that ERA at 5.82.
And he'll be facing Logan Forsythe to lead it off. And BA, here's another guy who's had first inning troubles. We talked about the ERA of Archer in the first. Gallardo's an even 10.
You know what's interesting, almost eerie? You just went back and looked at the number of base runners that they've had in their, respective first inning struggles. Both of them have averaged 2.6 base runners in the first inning, and their ERAs are 0.05 off of each other. 9.95 for Archer coming in, 10 for Gallardo coming in, averaging the same number of base runners per 9. Very strange, but also very telling. Too many base runners like that, you are going to give up some runs.
Pitch upstairs now, 1 and 2. See an interesting variety from Gallardo, the veteran. He was a 13-game winner last year in the Texas Rangers uniform. There's a base hit, slapped the other way into right. An opening over there, and Forsythe takes advantage with a leadoff single.
Well, here's the thing. You move the defense around just a little bit, and you go with the little slide ball right here. Well, nice 2-strike approach there by Logan Forsythe. You can see where Jonathan Scope is up the middle. You're going to throw a slider away, and Logan Forsythe is going to take that approach the other way. Leads to a base hit. We talk about it all the time.
Here's Brad Miller. Rays face Gallardo in Baltimore on the 24th of June and jumped on him then. Forsythe opened that game with a double, and the Rays scored 3 in the first. Actually, were in a position to have a much bigger inning than they did. They settled for 3, and those 3 runs, the only runs they got in that entire game.
Yeah, that's why those early opportunities, and that was a recurring theme in the first half for the Rays. A lot of early opportunities that were not turned into maybe what the Rays were looking for, what they could have done, and all of a sudden those opportunities dry up as the game goes on. You lose a tough one.
You see 3 runs all coming in that first inning. In fact, the Rays scored all of those runs with nobody out. Then he went 5 1/3 scoreless after that. Miller takes a strike. 3-1.
Well, he just doesn't have the stuff to be able to overpower hitters anymore. Doesn't have the stuff to pitch consistently in these types of counts. And so when you get him here in a predictable type count, you got to take advantage.
And that's a strike. Miller thought he might have drawn the walk there. It's full now, the count.
You know, anytime you have a borderline pitch and it's not caught, you usually don't get that call.
Runner goes. 3-2 is ball 4. The first 2 men are on. So the Rays with a first inning opportunity already.
Well, you got to cash it in, but before the Rays do that, let's take a look at that Oriole defense brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we have Joey Rickard, Adam Jones, and Mark Trumbo. Across the infield third to first, Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, and Chris Davis with Matt Wieters behind the plate.
Evan Longoria. 19 home runs before the All-Star break for Evan. The breaking ball, that's first pitch and a strike. Out of play. 2. Lowe's home field advantage. Break down that first half. A couple of personal highs for him.
Well, he really turned it on the last couple of months leading into the break. And you're right, home runs, total bases, having a tremendous season. Also defensively, you talk about what he brings to this team. Definitely has led the way.
1-2.
I think a big reason why, too, is in years past, we've seen him when he loses strike zone discipline, he'll lose it for a long stretch of time. And this season, he's been able to keep that to a few games here, a few games there. And for the most part, not chasing. And boy, mistakes out over the plate, they've been hurt.
Yeah, we've seen some of that patented Longoria carry when he hits the ball as well, leading to that home run total. See, there's the breakout from year to year. Last year 9 home runs, this year 19.
A big difference right there in the power department. You talk about that carry, you know, he's got his hands up high, slightly open stance, and boy, he drops barrel to baseball and has that uncanny knack of catching it just right to get that backspin, and that's what allows the carry.
Foul ball breaks the bat. cracks it.
It's like the opposite of the spin rate for the pitcher. It just stays true. It stays up in the zone. Same thing with catching that. Catch those pitches with a lot of backspin, and they just don't seem to come down.
Well, the Rays have a great opportunity right here. And he pops it into short left. Rickard coming in and makes the catch for the out. Well, that'll get Logan Morrison up there. And let's see what he can do with this opportunity.
These are the ones you do not want to let Gallardo wiggle out of this one.
And Logan has had throughout his career a tough time with Gallardo. He's just 2 for 21, but as you pointed out, he's a little different pitcher now than he was in the early stages of his career. Upstairs, 1-0. He's at a point now when he is on, he might be even more frustrating, but when he's not, he's way more hittable.
Well, and even going so far as, you know, he's always been a guy able to get the ground ball.
Yep.
Good ground ball rate. Not nearly the same type of pitcher this year. Now that I mention it, he'll be a ground ball double play to get out of the inning.
Machado after it, but he's not going to get there. Hops in front of the bullpen bench.
So you have a guy that the stuff is down, and the ability to get the ground ball is way down.
Yeah, he's been a 50% ground ball guy, or thereabouts, for his career, and he's under 40% this year.
Well, so then you just flip it. You flip it and translate it. Fewer ground balls, more balls in the air, less stuff. Well, more trouble.
Yep. A ball and a strike to count to Morrison. 2-1. Steven Souza Jr. on deck. Foul, that's going to be out of play. Orioles went out 1-2-3 in their first. The Rays put their first 2 hitters aboard. Forsythe at second, Miller at first. Out there with 1 away now. 2-2 count on the Rays' first baseman. Fouls the fastball back. Morrison all set. So is Gallardo. This one foul back again. Fastball foul right back over the screen. Last couple of pitches, Morrison has felt it in that right hand. Shake the bees out of that hand. into the screen.
Well, Gallardo has been challenging him with fastballs out over the plate. Here with 2 strikes, Morrison continues to foul him off, extend the at-bat. This is where you start to think about Gallardo with something soft. A little change of pace here.
And now the count is full. Peters on the stop on the breaking ball. The full count.
He did go soft, but he did not sell it well enough. That ball not in the strike zone as long as Gallardo would have liked, and that allowed Morrison to recognize it, be able to take it. Ball in the dirt.
He pops it up. That's a foul ball, going to carry out of play. May have been his straight changeup there.
Yeah, and that's the pitch that I was expecting previously. Not instead of the breaking ball. We've seen pitchers have success against Logan Morrison, a lot of fastballs, and then pull the string on a changeup, get him out in front. Thought that'd be the pitch that he would go with on the 2-2 count, and instead full count. Nice job by Logan to foul that pitch off.
Well, here's the 10th pitch of this bat about to be made. Well, not quite yet. I mean, these two guys, you talk about slow playing each other. Gallardo and Morrison have done that throughout this entire at bat. And he takes ball 4. He did check on the appeal down to Ted Barrett. That's going to load the bases.
Pretty easy here. This ball fading off the plate, up and away, and Logan clearly.
So you talk about a guy working for the walk. Morrison did 10 pitches. He's at first, and here's Steven Souza Jr. .251 with 10 home runs to start play tonight. Little number right side. Davis will take the out at first. The Rays going to run. Forsythe scores the first run of the game. A run batted in for Souza.
Well, that's where you cheer poor contact, because if this ball's hit any harder, you got a chance to get the runner at the plate at minimum. But that ball got in so far on Souza Jr. and was so softly hit that there was no play on Forsythe, and the Rays jump out early.
Well, it will get Corey Dickerson to the plate here in the first with 2 men in scoring position. And Dickerson, in that game in Baltimore that we referenced earlier, hit a home run. He was the second hitter in that game. Followed the double by Forsythe with a home run against Gallardo. Sends a fly ball into center, and Jones waits to catch it, and the Rays settle for 1, leaving 2, 1-0 Tampa Bay. 1-0. We go to the second, and tomorrow rock out with the Rays. The Bret Michaels post-game concert after the Rays and the Orioles take on in Game 2. It'll be nothing but a good time. All Budweiser and Bud Light 20-ounce beers, only $5 for tickets to the game and to purchase concert field access wristbands. Call 888-FAN-RAYS. First pitch is a strike to Chris Davis.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing for that concert, Dwayne.
Yes, I can't wait. What?
I am leaving you after bottom 5.
Yep.
When the game becomes official. Now, if the Rays have the lead, it could be after the top of the 5th.
Okay.
But I'm leaving the booth, and I'm going to tailgate. I'm going to tailgate for the concert and then roll back in when it starts up.
Really? All right. Good.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Anybody in particular you're going to meet up with the tailgate?
No. Nope.
Okay.
A couple of different families.
I got you. Well, good.
So,
okay.
Enjoy yourself the last half.
Gave me a little warning there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to, I figured I was going to wait for that little hit spot there and then spring it on you. Okay. I know you'll handle it fine. Probably prefer it.
And Chris Davis is out on strikes right there. Strikeout number 3 for Archer.
This one, stay behind the four-seamer and get a little bit of elevation. And, Chris Archer's come out pumping the heater here tonight. Very good velocity. Little shoulder roll right there after that one. Not so much a shimmy or a shake, but a shoulder roll. Chris Davis, I don't think, is a big fan.
Mark Trumbo is down and away. It's 1-0. '28 home runs, topping the home run list. Mark Trumbo, 3rd in the league in runs batted in. Skies it foul, out of play. There you are, the home run leaderboard in the American League. 3 up on Todd Frazier. Cruz, Donaldson, and Encarnacion, each with 23. All behind Trumbo. There's a towering pop-up. Forsythe waiting and makes the catch. That's quite an experience right there for an infielder. If you're not used to it, here, that one popped right up into the middle of the ceiling here.
And I mean, as you can see, it's not bright white. I mean, it's a little off white, same color as the baseball. That baseball's hit a mile high, a little spin on it. Better not take your eye off it. That's all I can tell you. We've seen visiting teams do that all the time, and some have struggled mightily with that.
Pitch up to Matt Wieters, 1-0. Baltimore catcher. Strike. 1-1. Good 90s with that delivery. Two out in front and over that pitch. A little bit wide there. Rushed the fastball up there outside. Fly ball right center. Kiermaier over there, and he makes the catch to retire the side. 1, 2, 3, 6 up, 6 down, 1-0 Rays. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by Dodge. Visit your local Dodge dealer today. By Just for Men, great looking hair made easy. By Furman, the Bay Area's first name in Chevrolet. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Rays got a run in the first, left a couple men on. Brandon Guyer is going to lead off the bottom of the second. Guyer, Kiermaier, and Maley. This pitch is a strike. Guyer has been hit 20 times this year, leading the major leagues. That's helped that on-base percentage. 0-2. He stood his ground and then some in that batter's box, taking 20 pitches primarily to the left side, that hip, thigh.
Yeah. If it's up tall, you know, close to the shoulders, the head, he finds a way to get out of the way. You know what we've noticed too is he finds a way to be able to spin out of the way. If there's runners in scoring position, yes, he wants to drive them in. Now nobody on base. And he's got it down to a science. You know, he sets up close to the plate. He strides into the plate right up to the line. I mean, he's going to stride right there, take it as close as he can. And if that ball's down and in, he's not going to move for you.
It's fouled straight back. All right, as a pitcher.
Yeah.
How frustrating is that for a guy on the mound?
It's awful.
I mean, you get tired of it after a while.
You do.
Sometimes you get angry.
Yeah, and sometimes like, if you want to get hit, I'll hit you. I'm going to try to hit you in a bad spot. But yeah, it is extremely frustrating. Those guys, they make pitching in very, very difficult because here's the thing. You have very little margin for error pitching in. Now with a guy like Brandon Guyer, you pitch in a little too far, you're going to take it off the thigh and head to first.
Yep.
You miss a little bit too far the other way out over the plate, he's going to smoke it into left field for, you know, a base hit or extra bases.
A little soft one hopper to second, and Scope handles that.
So he just forces you to precise, you know, and also you get to the point where you kind of stay away from those guys. I remember a guy like Craig Biggio. You had 2 strikes.
There's no way you could go in.
With the big body armor,
exactly.
Throw the elbow up, take it, go to first.
Not only did that body armor protect him, it made a bigger target. So there's more likely that you might hit the guy.
Yep.
That thing was, you know, it seemed as if it were about 12 inches thick.
It did. And I'm telling you, the moment that you shy away from pitching in on guys,
yeah,
now you play right into their hands.
Yep. Well, here's Kevin Kiermaier. Boy, how great it is to see him in that Rays uniform and back active. Too long without him. The ball, no strikes.
I got a question for you, though. Already noticed it when we showed him in that first inning. The eye black. Do you like the patches? Do you like when he goes with the smear? I personally like the smear better.
You like the smear?
It does, because by the end of the game, it's all over his face. I mean, it's just, you know,
yeah,
it's a little too refined for him.
Yeah, you could be right about that. You know, the patches are, you know, that's not really. And I know they've become, I don't know if in vogue is the right thing, but certainly utilized a lot. Just smear that on underneath there and go for it.
He's just getting back in. His first game back. Not everything's going to be clicking early.
Oh, he takes a strike, trying to draw the walk. Lance Barksdale behind the plate tonight. You see that pitch stays out there, and Barksdale says, just at the last moment it caught the corner.
Well, Gallardo will throw. At times it appears to be a true slider. At other times, like that pitch, almost like a backdoor cutter. Depending on, you know, you keep it up in the zone, it's going to move side to side. You get on top of it, you get some depth with it to go with that curveball changeup in his heater.
There's ball 4. Kiermaier takes off, goes to first, draws a walk on his first plate appearance coming back. Yeah, he was saying before the game he couldn't wait to get out there and start this game.
You said it was like a second opening day. You know, he's been going for so long, and you know as much energy that he, you know, exhibits and shows out on the field. What's that like when you're not playing?
Yeah, I know.
Bouncing off walls.
I don't know what it would be like to have a partner like that. There's Luke Maile over to first, and Kiermaier's back in. A lot of energy. Oh, that's good.
A lot of energy.
Yeah.
No place to wait till 7 o'clock to get it going.
Yep.
Actually, like 6:45. So I get to start yelling at Rich and Arestas and Todd. Get to do all that.
Up and in. Well, Luke Maile, Kevin Cass says he's going to do a pretty fair share of catching here. Be interesting to watch him. You know, the offensive side of his game was something that the Rays had hoped would develop, and over the last month or so, apparently shown some signs of that. So it'll be interesting to watch him. They really like the job he does behind the plate. And that's going to drop. A little base hit. Kiermaier heads to third. Throw in that direction offline. Back to second. And Maile runs into the out there. Going in head first. Will Little there to call him out. So Kiermaier hustles his way to third. Maile went, that ball went all the way to third. Tried to stretch it. Move into second.
And a little half swing there. This is what Kiermaier brings, that ability to take the extra base. But in doing so, that throw headed to third, and Maile reads the throw to third, heads to second. But boy, a quick transition there from Machado back over to Scope.
So 2 gone with Kiermaier at third. Now Forsythe takes the first pitch strike. Ground ball. It takes a skip by Machado into left, and the run will score. Forsythe, who scored the run in the first, drives one home in the second, and it's 2-0.
Well, there you go. Walk Kevin Kiermaier. He goes first to third and then scores. Welcome back. 39, and Logan Forsythe quick to the ball in. Boy, get the hands through, hit it hard. Able to skip this one right by Manny Machado. You do not see that very often. As tough as that play was, Manny makes that all the time. That went off the thumb of the glove, and the Rays add to their lead.
Brad Miller. There's a strike. Well, that aggressiveness on the base is something the Rays have sorely missed in the absence of Kiermaier. Ground ball, base hit into right. Forsythe advances to second. He had to let the ball go through. And Miller, who hits the ball hard, got that one by Davis.
That was your only shot. Watch Davis come off the bag, and he still can't get to it. That ball smoked right by him. The Rays keep the inning going. You know, this is the big question mark with this Baltimore ball club. In first place, 2 games up in the East, but will the pitching hold up? And that's the big question. Have a tremendous offense, a lot of power, a lot of questions with the pitching staff. In fact, Dwayne, you look at their starters ERA is 5.15.
Yep. And you know, there are some other clubs, contenders, trying to shore up their pitching, but the Orioles have to really be trying to do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's second worst in the American League, and as good as their bullpen is, if they don't shore up the starting pitching, you're never going to get to the back end of those bullpen guys enough to make a difference, because Boston and Toronto have been closing on Baltimore.
And the Red Sox have already started to address that pitching situation. 3-0 now to Evan Longoria. So it'll be interesting to see what those other clubs do. Pomeranz deal could be the start of an interesting trend. And ball 4. Gallardo walks Longoria to load the bases, and while the Orioles talk it over, well, here's that deal. Anderson Espinosa, the top pitching prospect, maybe the top prospect for the Red Sox, goes the other way in the Drew Pomeranz deal.
Yeah, listen, 19 years old, a potential future ace. Saw some video on that kid. Wow. They must think very highly of Drew Pomeranz, bringing him over. You know, he's having a career year. Unfortunately, it's out in San Diego. You don't see them a lot. But that ERA right there in the mid-2s said that the addition of a cutter this year has really made the difference for Pomeranz. You fastball, curveball, now with a cutter on top of it, and they think that that's the pitch that's put him over the top.
Well, there should be a lot of interesting storylines leading up to the August 1st non-waiver trade deadline. Well, the Rays have loaded the bases. They lead 2-0, and here's Logan Morrison, who had that long at bat in the first. Shoots this one up the right side, but it's hooking foul, out of play. A 10-pitch at bat in the first, and he eventually walked. That loaded the bases. The Rays have loaded the bases again in the second inning. So just like the first time they saw Gallardo this year, they've had great opportunities early. They settled for 3 runs in the first inning the last time, and that was all they got. Now big opportunity, and this one fouled, out of play the other way. 0-2. A lot of pitches early here for Gallardo. Back. Got a fastball that was up out of the zone. But, see a fastball up there, hard to resist, especially with 2 strikes.
And from a guy that you know doesn't have that 95 to just power it right by you. You know, a guy is lacking fastball, elite fastball velocity, and you get one up like that, you're gonna take a rip. Now you just wonder now, Matt Wieters out there to talk to Gallardo, do you use that as a setup pitch? Now lower the sights, go soft, maybe back to that changeup. 0-2, you can do just about anything here.
And it's fouled back. The pitch up.
By design, and you notice Matt Wieters didn't even put a sign down. That's smart. You go out and talk to your pitcher. What are we going to go with here? This is it. Go back there and just fire away. No reason to put the fingers down.
He takes a pitch wide. Good eye taking that pitch away. Side, Machado up with it. Throw to first in time to retire Morrison. Rays settle for 1. They leave him loaded. 2-0 at the end of 2. tonight's Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean Chris Coors Light. And the strikeout leaderboard finds Chris Archer trailing only David Price. Price with 140, and now with the 3 tonight, 133 for Chris Archer. First pitch to J.J. Hardy upstairs. Archer has retired the first 6 in a row. Took the miss.
J.J.
Hardy to chase there.
Yeah, let him off the hook. Should be 3-0 right now. This pitch not even close. Trying to go down and away. It's up and in, and J.J. Hardy cannot lay off.
High popper into center. Kiermaier there already. And he makes the catch.
He's been able to pick up some strikeouts here early on. Good change up there to Jonathan Scope. Fastball right there, powered by a fastball by Chris Davis with a little bit of elevation. So far we've gotten a shimmy, a shake, and a shoulder roll after those 3 punches.
We'll have to choreograph that. Set it to music. Who knows?
Late night with the Rays. It's coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is. Whoa, Pedro Alvarez powers one to deep center. Kiermaier to the track, and that one is gone. What a shot by Alvarez on the first pitch. That was a mid-90s fastball, and he delivers it to center field and beyond, making it 2-1.
Well, Pedro Alvarez has power. Well known. Hasn't had the consistency playing time with the Orioles this year, but he has certainly big time power. This ball, middle of the plate, thigh high, and he gets all of it.
So it's a 2-1 ball game now following the home run by Alvarez. Well, he's showing you the power that made him the 2nd pick overall in the draft. The Pirates took him out of Vanderbilt. 2 strikes to Rickard. His 10th home run of the year for Pedro Alvarez. And 2 strikes. Well, the Orioles synonymous with the long ball. It's 138 topping the list right there, as you saw. Now 2-2 for Rickard. Alvarez played 3 years at Vanderbilt and had almost an RBI per game. Strike 3 call. Rickard caught looking at a fastball. Or strikeout number 4.
Well, there's not much you can do about this if you're Joey Rickard. This call's going to go against you. You can see the way that Luke Maile kept the meaty part of his hand well into the zone, and he catches that pitch in the webbing. So he presents it very, very well to Lance Barksdale, and he gets the call. It was a strike regardless, but he made it look like a better strike by his glove placement.
It's going to be interesting to watch him.
Yeah.
Two outs with the bases empty for the top of the order, Adam Jones. Jones sends a high fly ball. Left center. Kiermaier will be there. Kevin puts it away. A run on the home run. That's it. Bottom of the 3rd coming. 2-1 Rays. Geico Great Moments takes us back to 2001 when the Rays knock off the Atlanta Braves at Turner Field for the first time, and Fred McGriff goes 3 for 4 with a couple of home runs off of Dallas Perez. Drives in 4 against his former club, the Braves.
That's always fun. Hurting the former club.
Yeah, and do it. You go back, in that case, to Atlanta.
Yeah. Remember this?
Well, here's Steven Souza Jr. and he takes the first pitch for a strike. Breaking ball. Souza, then Dickerson and Geyer. This one out of the zone. 1-1. Well, a one-run ball game right now. 2-1 Rays. They've left 5 on base already. So some opportunities early against Gallardo.
And this is one of those games where if you're an Oriole fan, you say you feel pretty good about just a 1-run deficit because it's been all Rays, and yet it's just 2-1.
Yep. Yeah, that's what Kevin Cash is thinking as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
If you're a manager, I don't care what the lead is. Maybe if you lead by 9 or 10, but you never have enough and you're never comfortable. Here we are, 2-1, Rays up. They left 5 on. It's the comfort zone is not even a possibility, not even an inkling of a thought.
They're constantly scheming on how can I get more and how can I keep them from getting anything else. And you're right, it's all night long.
Cut the miss. Went up there and got him. First strikeout for Gallardo. The first out here in the 3rd.
Yeah, maybe his best sequence of pitches all night. Everything down, fastball, breaking ball, middle of the plate, climb the ladder up around the letters and get the swing and a miss at 89.
And, you know, that's a great point. It goes to pitching and what sequencing can do, and even though that fastball was 89, with all that came before it,
yeah,
made it so much more effective up there.
You know, that's the thing. When you look at strikeout pitches, don't take them in a vacuum. You know, a lot of times it's the pitch before or 2 pitches before that allows that to happen, that sets that up. You know, that's that when you talk about the art of pitching, that's what you're talking about. Being able to set sequences up, move balls around to then get them for that one pitch to chase out of the zone, to chase up in the zone, to hit off the end of the bat. It's not that pitch. That's the end result. It's how you got there a lot of the times.
Well, Dickerson has seen 2 pitches and is 1 for 2. That base hit on the first pitch up the middle got it by Gallardo, and no one else could get it. 1 on, 1 out for Brandon Geyer.
Nice to see that he's back to being Corey Dickerson. No reason to be up here very long.
Geyer out, second to first, his first time. He bunts foul. Puts him down 0-2. Rays have already had 9 base runners in this game. We're 1 out into the 3rd. That is foul the other way, out of play. And you contrast that with the Orioles. They've had 1. And it's a 1-run game.
Yeah, well, it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this inning. That is 5 hits, 5 left on.
is hit. Another base runner for the Rays. Geyer shoots it through the right side. First and second with one out.
Now another pitch. Breaking that slider down and away. Watch Geyer. A little bit of a choke up. Not much of a stride. Just a quick barrel to the baseball. Shoot it the other way. We saw Logan Forsythe do that. See Brandon Geyer with the same approach, same result.
Well, here's Kiermaier. He walked and scored his first time back. Strike one.
You know, and this has to be a concern for Buck Showalter for a number of reasons. Obviously, wanting to come out of the All-Star break on the right foot. Gallardo, 10 base runners now already, 2 1/3 in. But they're starting Dylan Bundy on Sunday. So you don't want to have to dip into that bullpen too early.
Fly ball right center field. Trumbo's there to make the catch. Dickerson's going to head to third. Throw cut off. It'll be first and third. Well, you're absolutely right about that from the Orioles' point of view. And that goes back to, we talked about the East and the pitching. Red Sox have starter. Well, the Orioles could use that. Blue Jays are not altogether happy and content with their pitching either.
Well, you know, here's the thing that, you know, the Blue Jays, I think, what are they, first or second in the American League in starter ERA? But there's that talk of Aaron Sanchez going to move him to the bullpen to limit his innings. He's been one of their best starters. And so you're taking out a guy that can dominate a ball game, go out and give you 7, 8 innings, you know, 0, 1, 2 runs, and do it with regularity.
And base hit by Maile. Into left. The Rays get another run. They make it 3-0. Maile on the first pitch picks up the run, batted in. Geyer to second. Maile is 2 for 2.
Well, another 2-out run here for the Rays. That's something that they did a nice job of in the first half. Another little cutter slider that didn't get to its spot. It stayed out over the plate, and Maile just gets out and rolls it through the hole. That makes you feel a little bit better about all the base runners. Add another one to the run list.
One in the first, one in the second, one so far in the third. And Logan Forsythe takes the pitch outside. How about that? Here's Forsythe up for the third time. You go, okay, you're going to start the game. Logan Forsythe will hit for the third time in the third inning. How many runs would you have? The Rays have 3 and lead by 2. Two and 0 now. Logan 2 for 2. He scored one of the runs and has driven home another one. There's Worley up in the bullpen now. The matching eyewear. Two and 1. Ground ball short. Hardy takes it to second for the out. Force play there. The Rays going to run through 3. It's 3-1.
Rays leading the Orioles 3-1 right now, and I got a question for you. Want to hang out with this guy? I know you do. Even more so, you want to hang out with this guy and get fielding lessons? We're talking about fielding lessons from the best center fielder in baseball. It's all part of the Rays charity auction, and from now until Sunday, you could bid on it at raysbaseball.com/auction. You get a 45-minute fielding lesson for up to 4 children ages 10 through 18. You also get 8 tickets to a Rays game with field passes, but you have to bid between now and Sunday. So get your bids in at raysbaseball.com/auction, and you can hang out with Kevin Kiermaier just like I hang out with Kevin Kiermaier. Guys?
All right, Rich, thank you very much. And don't forget, you each get a personalized bat. So fielding lessons, but you'll get a little touch of the offense as well with a personalized bat.
I don't even know how you would do this, but I mean, the giveaway is great. Do you get anything? Is there any boost in your speed? You get a little touch of the offense. Yep. You certainly get the defensive lessons. Anything with the legwork?
Well, if anybody could help you increase your speed, it would probably be him. There's a chopper down to Longoria. The only other guy I know who could maybe help someone with speed would be you.
No, me?
You know, yeah, as a pitcher, you know, I mean, I mean, as a kid, we chronicled that story. You were very slow. You came in last every time you had to run somewhere. And yet, by the time you were in the major leagues, Buck Showalter, right down here, said, hey, get your running shoes on, pal. I may have to pinch run you. And you did. So you became a designated pinch runner on those days when you weren't out there on the mound working hard.
You know what? All I can tell you is you're right. That story has been chronicled, and it should have stayed in the archives.
It's a true story.
Listen, there's nothing better, and I was nowhere near Kiermaier's speed, but that has to be so much fun to just take off and just, I mean, like a blur. You're like a blur.
Yep. I mean, instant.
You can't teach it.
Full acceleration.
Just go.
Pitch up, and Machado fouls it back. Hey, there's some of the speed. Look at that speed.
And with these, too. With these.
Yeah. Look at that.
Anderson.
The hurried throw. He threw it in the center field. He knew who was running.
Yeah.
Machado fouls it back.
I just love the fact that on both of those, I didn't have the sign. I made the sign up. I was actually fined for both of those because I didn't miss the sign so much as I made it up. Yeah, I got the steal sign. Yeah, no, you didn't. But it worked.
Oh, cut the miss. Machado chased that one. Nice pitch. He struck him out on a fastball in the first, and that one just ran away from it, down and away on the slider.
Manny Machado's got good plate coverage, but forget this. This slider way down and away. Look at the reach right there. Not even close. And that right there, Dwayne, is a byproduct of respecting that fastball. You know, you pump a fastball by a guy early like that, he's not going to get beat on that again, or he doesn't want to be. And so all of a sudden you pull the trigger a little too soon on a pitch that really well out of the strike zone.
And he has Davis out in front. There's that changeup again.
Yeah, you know, that start that we referenced against Baltimore earlier in the year, the mix here tonight has been fantastic. He's missed with one fastball out over the plate. Everything else has been spot on.
I mean, you have to love this mix of pitches.
He's pitching.
Yes. And to do it, and then you have 95, 96 in reserve, and that slider that will just run away from the end of a hitter's bat sometimes, as we saw in the case of Machado, and that changeup. Cooking with gas again.
Yeah, yes, you are. And then look at that pitch count. Yep. He's kept that in order. That's been an issue for him.
Strike out there on the corner or thereabouts. Take that. It's 2-2.
It's enough. Well, it goes back to the fact that he's been around the zone, you know, all night. So those borderline pitches, a lot of times, are going to go your way.
Two outs, base is empty. The only hit produced the only run for the Orioles. That was the long home run by Pedro Alvarez. Now 2-2 to Davis. And the count is full. Talking about pitch count, this is the first full count he has had on a hitter tonight. And he loses him. Fastball put away right there. So a 2-out walk, and in this lineup, anytime you put a guy on base, it seems that there's some guy with great power coming to the plate to follow it. And here's the home run leader, Mark Trumbo.
Got to get back to making quality pitches. That is for sure.
A strike, upper part of the zone.
There's that high octane slider and the late break. Watch Trumbo swing. Just cannot reach it. Pulls off of it.
Nothing to be done with that pitch. 89, 90 on a slider. Into center field. Kiermaier on the run. It's going to drop in there. Over to third goes Davis. Trumbo had just enough reach and strength to drop that one in there for a hit.
Yep, that ball right off the end of the bat. It came off dead, and it was able to drop in front of Kevin Kiermaier. If he's not getting to it, probably nobody is. There's the slider. That front hip pulled open, but able to lengthen the swing a hair off the end of the bat, and Kiermaier coming from right center just cannot get there.
So with 2 outs, the Orioles put 2 men on. And here's Matt Wieters. Wieters hit a fly ball to center in the second. Strike one. Good pitch right there. You know, first and third, 2 outs, first pitch.
Aggressive lineup, aggressive hitter. That's that changeup again. And that's a definite weapon if Chris Archer chooses it to be so.
And 1. Wieters came into this series 7 for 21 in his career against Archer. 0 for 1 tonight. Fly ball left. Geyer waits and makes the catch. A walk, a single, 2 left. Rays lead 3-1. Bottom of the 4th coming. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by Dodge. Visit your local Dodge dealer today. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. Rays home for the weekend to begin the second half of the year. Brad Miller is going to begin the bottom of the fourth. Evan Longoria next, and then Logan Morrison. There's a shot down the right field line. That is a foul ball. Miller just missing the home run right down the line, hooking it foul. He's working on 14 home runs right now.
Yeah, already a career high, and that was a breaking ball that he was just a hair too early on. That line drive just foul.
It's away, 1-1. Well, since the 11th of June, 9 home runs, most by shortstop. 1-2.
It was a slow start for Brad Miller at the beginning of the season, and then as he got more and more comfortable here with the Rays, you started to see the power start to show itself.
2-2. Well, he's showing power numbers like a corner guy. You know, traditionally first, third, right field, left field, those guys hit home runs. The shortstop doing that. Foul the other way.
You know, and as well as he hits the ball, as hard as he hits the ball, he still has enough film, you know, to take that ball out to left field, left center. We've seen it.
A 2-2 count to Miller. Rays have 3 runs, 7 hits, and they've drawn 4 walks against Gallardo. Fly ball into right. Trumbo's after this one. One gone. Here's a reminder to get in on the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. You can host a group of 50 to 85. It's a private party area. You can make long-lasting memories, and you can reserve the Papa John's bullpen box by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or emailing groupsales@raysbaseball.com. There are limited dates remaining right there in the Papa John's bullpen box. Evan Longoria lifts one into center. Jones is there. The off-speed pitch, and the power gone on that high fly ball to center.
And it went down after a pitch that was, it was over the plate, but it was way down in the zone. Not able to get enough into it.
So 2 up, 2 down. And now Logan Morrison. Morrison made the last out in the second inning when the Rays left the bases loaded. Came on a ground ball to third. This one skips away. 1-0. Two ball, no strike count. Produces a pitch up there. 2-1.
And again, you're getting aggressive and getting antsy against Gallardo. That's a pitch they've gone after Logan Morrison again and again with, able to foul him off with 2 strikes, cut it loose there in a 2-0 count.
I mean, tough to get on top of that pitch.
Not unless you're swinging an axe.
This would pop back at third. Machado's going to give it a shot, but it's out of range. And the count is 2-2. And if it's out of Machado's range, it's really out of range.
Well, he's one of those guys that makes it look easy too. When they run, when they swing a bat, so athletically gifted and smooth and young.
Yeah, and he's one of the guys I think in baseball. If you go, wow, I want to go watch one guy play. He's one of those guys.
I mean, maturing. You know, watching him mature over the last couple of years. And then on top of the fact that the high baseball IQ that he has and has had, and we've seen him make some plays that you don't expect out of a guy 21, 22 years old.
And really a shortstop talent playing third base. Ground ball, that'll be fair, fielded by Davis, who steps on the bag, and the Rays are retired in the 4th. We head into the 5th, 3-1 Tampa Bay.
Sun, where the Rays continue to lead the Orioles 3-1. I'm upstairs in one of the Rays suites with a bunch of very important people, representatives of Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. And a quick reminder to everybody, stick around after the game on Fox Sports Sun, because Rays Live, the postgame, brought to you by Checkers, is going to be coming up. And we're going to be featuring a story on all the Rays players and their regular visits to this particular hospital, which is just a stone's throw from here at the Trop. It's a heartwarming story about the Rays making all those visits and the beautiful smiles that you see on all those children's faces whenever the Rays players show up. So make sure you tune in. I promise you, you're going to love the story. It's going to give you some goosebumps, and we'll hopefully be talking about winning baseball too. Guys?
Sounds like a great plan. That first pitch was a ball to J.J. Hardy. There's a called strike. It's 1-1. One that just disappeared.
Yeah, that swing is not going to make anybody's. Tom Amansky does not approve of that swing.
Two and two. Grow out. Alvarez, supplying the only Baltimore run tonight, is on deck. Soft liner center field, dropping in front of Kiermaier. Hardy didn't hit it hard, but got it into the outfield for a base hit.
They just got a backup slider that he was able to poke up the middle. He was in trouble in that at bat. We saw the good slider in the swing that he took on that one, and got a mistake there.
Here's Alvarez. Another one of those cases where, with all the threats the Rays have had, they still only lead by 2. Orioles with a man on, and Alvarez, who hit the ball a mile his first time up here, hits it into left center field. Pretty well tagged. That ball bounced back onto the outfield and hit just the top of the wall for a double. The run scores to make it 3-2, and Alvarez just barely missed hitting a home run.
Yeah, the top of that wall out there, Dwayne, it goes the padded part of the wall, then you got the little chain link fence, and then the yellow posts basically is what they are. Change up, stays up, and Alvarez gets into it in a big way, and watch it hit. That's why it bounced so far. Right off the yellow and off that metal post, and there it goes. Buck Showalter taking a look, maybe thinking if it hit that blue part, that's above, and that would be a home run. But that clearly off the top of the fence.
So Alvarez with his 11th double. He's driven in both runs tonight. You know, he's seen 2 pitches, a fastball and a changeup, and he's done damage with 2 swings tonight.
Yep. Boy, dead center with the home run, but that was maybe more impressive, taking an off-speed pitch on a line, and he missed a home run by an inch.
Watch it right there.
Number 23, Joey Rickard.
Alvarez with his 11th double. It's now 3-2. Man at second, nobody out. And here is Rickard. Fly ball center field. Kiermaier's right there to make the catch for the out. Alvarez stays at second. Boston has a 3-0 lead on the Yankees. That game's in the top of the 6th, and they've added a couple of runs. It's now 5-0. Travis Shaw's hit a home run. Ryan Hannigan hit a home run. Stephen Wright pitching for Boston. He's given up just 1 hit to the Yankees. That was an infield hit by Alex Rodriguez. Here's Adam Jones, top of the order. Pitch outside, 1-0. Time granted against Barksdale. With Maley asking for time. Archer at 67 pitches right now. In on Jones, and a popper short right out there. A nice little running catch by Forsythe. Got the ball in on Jones. That's out number 2.
1 out away.
Second baseman, Jonathan Scope.
Jonathan Scope, and he was able to get him in that first at bat with a very good changeup. Ground out to Longoria. A dangerous hitter, though.
And that's a big step in the right direction. He came in 4 of 9 against Archer with a home run.
And you saw the season numbers, that average over 300. Good power and production out of the 2-hole.
Skies it to center. Kiermaier back to the track for that one. And that retires the side. Scope hits it to dead center. Rays lead 3-2. Quite the way Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock do. The brains to know and the guts to say. Catch Colin and Jason on FS1's new daily sports talk show, Speak for Yourself, weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern. Rays lead it off in the bottom of the 5th with Steven Souza Jr. Pitch is upstairs. Well, how about Gallardo? Here he is. He struggled his way, especially through the first 3, and he's still in there in the bottom of the 5th, and he's down by only a run.
Sometimes this game makes very little sense.
I know, doesn't it?
It's true. There's no reason for this game to still be hanging in the balance.
Two and one. Upstairs. It's been one of those games where you keep waiting to just see the offense unload on this right-hander. And Worley's up again for the second time. Now 3-2, and that unloading just has not happened. They've had all the boxes on the tailgate, but they haven't unloaded them yet.
No, there are a lot of boxes.
High fly ball into right. Trumbo angling back to his left. That's the first out. Well, let's see if Corey Dickerson can unload. He's seen 2 pitches tonight that a fly ball to center and single to center. That base hit came in the 3rd when he scored what right now is the difference in this game. Pitch again, and he bounces it foul. Strike 1. 1-1. Dickerson really working the count this time.
Trying to get out of the way with that first swing. But right there, that patience starting to kick in.
Yep. Ooh, big cut there. And it's 1-2. He really unloaded there.
I got that, saw that fastball up closer to the eyes. See that uppercut swing, though, just tough to get up there that high with that swing path.
And they get him. He stayed up and strikes him out.
And Corey Dickerson actually tried to shorten his swing. That swing not nearly as big as the previous one on a very similar pitch. Watch how he tries to shorten it up a little bit. But still, just not able to get up there to be able to at least foul that pitch off.
Brandon Guyer. Guyer 1 for 2. Two balls, no strikes. This one into right center field. Jones angling over, can't get there. We're going to watch Guyer run. He's around second, on his way to third. Trumbo retrieves it, gets the ball back in, and Guyer winds up at third with a triple.
Adam Jones covering a lot of ground, but not quite enough. Watch him take off. This ball kind of slicing away from him, and he's just not able to get there. See how close it was. Oh, right off the edge.
Well, for Guyer, his first triple of the year. And now Kevin Kiermaier. Two-out triple by Guyer. 2-0 the count to Kiermaier. 2-1 now. Pop up infield toward the mound. Gallardo's calling it, and Davis comes in to catch it. Rays leave a man at third through 5, 3-2 Rays. Rays have had some opportunities early. They got a run in the first on the ground ball by Steven Souza Jr. scoring Logan Forsythe. It was Forsythe who singled home the second run of the night. That came in the second, scoring Kevin Kiermaier. Then the long home run to center in the top of the third by Pedro Alvarez, turning around a fastball right there. Rays answered that with a base hit from Luke Maile in the bottom of the third. That base hit scored Corey Dickerson. And again, it was Pedro Alvarez after a single by Hardy. Alvarez doubled him home and just missed a home run. We're through 5 and headed into the 6th. The Rays lead 3-2. And Chris Archer about to make his 70th pitch of the night to open the 6th, and it's a bit high. 1-0 the count to Manny Machado. Machado shoots it toward the right field corner. That's a fair ball, a one hop to the corner, and a leadoff double for Machado.
Well, he has been giving Rays pitchers fits this season. They had him under control earlier in his career, but this year having quite the time, and that's part of the reason why. That plate coverage on a ball that's up and the ability to hit the ball the other way with authority. And this one turns out to be a leadoff double in a one-run game.
Well, Chris Archer, after the double by Alvarez in the 5th inning, had the potential tying run at second, nobody out. Got out of that. Now he has the potential tying run at second, nobody out, and he faces Chris Davis. Strike one. Davis has struck out and walked tonight. 22 home runs, 6th in the league in that category. Maile and Archer get together. Chris Davis, 47 home runs a year ago. Chaz Rowe up in the bullpen for Baltimore. One. Ball, 2 strikes. Trumbo on deck, so some big bats here for Archer to wade through. Going through the lineup for the 3rd time and protecting a 1-run lead. Oh, strike 3 call. Fastball on that corner, and Davis is caught looking.
And that's a case of mislocation still working out. Look where Maile is. He wants that ball away, reaching all the way back across the plate, and it still catches that inside corner and picks up the strikeout.
Well, that's strikeout number 6. The first out here in the 6th. And now Mark Trumbo. Gets him to swing through that pitch up and in.
The key to missing location is you got to miss by a lot. You're trying to go away and you miss middle just a little bit, you get hurt.
Not too good.
Miss by a lot. Go from one corner to the other corner, get the result. I like it.
1-1. Well, if every pitch you made you missed by the width of the plate and then occasionally threw a backup slider, you'd be successful.
If you can bottle it up and sell it, Dwayne, come on.
1-1 the count on Trumbo. And in there, Trumbo could hear that one go by. He moved back.
More like a rumor. Felt something, heard a buzz. It's mid to upper 90s. Yep.
I love the face. I mean, no, I don't want any part of that. Can't see it, but I can hear it, and it's too close.
And that face typically is made too late.
Two now.
And look what it does. It forces that front hip to come flying open. Pounded him in with those fastballs, and watch the front hip of Trumbo. Gone. Everything's gone already. And then that slider that's on the plate, he cannot reach.
Oh, a foul ball coming straight back. And
it caught the roof.
Just ricocheting off the roof.
It did.
But way to knock it down, because you can still make a play.
Took it right off the index and middle finger. There was.
There you go.
It caught the lip right there. It's close.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good off the knuckle, though.
No. First game after the break.
It's good.
Yeah, I think he can play with that.
Tape it up, we're fine.
Yeah. 2-2. Base hit into left. Machado will advance to third and stop there. Miller tried to go to his right, and Machado had to hesitate for a moment.
Yeah, that's the key. It was close enough that Machado, watch him thinking Miller can make a play. Actually takes a half step back, and that keeps him from trying to score there. And you still have the double play in order. That's how close it was.
On the corners, first and third. And here's Matt Wieters. Fly balls by Wieters tonight. First pitch he takes for a strike. The Orioles now 1 for 5 with men in scoring position. And that base hit could not get the run home. Rays have gone 2 for 9 tonight. Into the dirt, and it's blocked by Mela. Great job there by the young catcher Luke Mela.
Wow. Machado on third base, and that pitch out of the hand was headed right for the dirt. You got to play a hockey goalie here. Change up, spin it around, body over top. Look how he smothers it and keeps it right in front.
Great form.
Yeah,
you love to see that. That is so great by the young catcher.
Tom Amansky would approve of that.
It's 2-1. Machado at third and Trumbo at first. Right back into the screen. 2-2. Archer trying to pitch his way out of this jam. Protecting the slim 3-2 lead. Ground ball left side. Out at second and safe at first. Just could not turn that one soon enough, with Miller starting it by going to his right. And that was A tough attempt. This game is tied.
Yeah, Dwayne, and there was no way they were going to be able to get him. This right here is a byproduct of Matt Wieters just putting the ball in play, moving the ball. You know, he knows that Chris Archer wants the ground ball, can go for the strikeout, and he's just putting the ball in play, and he happens to hit it in the right spot, and the Rays just not able to turn that. There was just no chance to.
So the game is tied. Wieters at first. J.J. Hardy is the hitter. That's a strike. And what you feared most early in the game, when the Rays had all those base runners and were settling for single runs in each of the first 3 innings, has now put them in a position where the Orioles have come back to tie this game. 0-2 the count.
Looks like Gallardo's night is finished.
Yeah, he hung around for 108 pitches in 5 innings.
Yep.
And again gave up just 3 runs, and the Rays had him on the ropes a few times. Souza Jr. coming in for this little pop. Takes care of it. A run scores. Bottom of the 6th coming. 3-3.
Rays and the Orioles inside Tropicana Field. Fans were treated to one of the best promotions that the Rays do inside this building. It was another military surprise night. Earlier tonight, right around the 2nd inning, first-class petty officer Will Dillon, coming off a 7-month deployment on board USS Harry Truman, where he's a U.S. Navy Reserve swimmer and air crewman, surprised his 3 young children at their seats. His wife Amber was in on it, but the 3 children completely unsuspecting. You gotta love the reaction that these military members get when they surprise their families at Tropicana Field, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rich. A great moment indeed. We go to the bottom of inning 6, and Chaz Rowe, the righty, comes on in relief of Gallardo. Luke Maile will lead it off for the Rays. He is 2 for 2 tonight with a run batted in. Also did a nice job behind the plate. The first pitch is a strike.
Yeah, nice debut so far here for Luke Maile in 2016.
Ground ball shortstop. Right over the top. Hardy's throw is right there for the first out. Yeah, Maile the last month or so has been a different offensive player. I saw one of his comments that said that he just thought he was being a little more of himself and maybe not putting as much pressure on himself, and things kind of fell into place offensively.
Well, the numbers were gaudy. I mean, that batting average up over 350 in the last Oh, a pretty good chunk of time there.
Yep, there's a strike to Forsythe.
You combine that with what we've seen defensively, the block that we showed, the borderline pitch where you just catch that, very softly in the webbing, keep your hand out over the plate.
Yeah, he's been very clean behind the plate and has made a couple nice stops. And he appears, it's interesting, the really, I think the really good athletes do it in such a way that it's almost effortless. And he seems to move easily behind the plate. In making those blocks, the form was so good that it was just kind of a natural reaction, it appeared. Now 2-2 to Forsythe.
Some of the plays that you see in this game or just movements, blocks, catch, throw, when it looks easy.
It's not.
No, not on any level.
No. Oh, look at that grab. Had his glove, grabbed it, wanted to pop loose, and he made the catch.
That's the bicolored Wilson. I bought a glove just like that at a Walmart to be able to play in a spring training game.
Is that right?
That's right. That's an absolute fact. That was in Vero Beach.
A swing and a miss.
This goes to show you, I had gone to spring training game, had gone over to a spring training game at Vero Beach, and I had forgotten. I was so excited because I was going to get the hit that I forgot to pack my glove and my spikes. Didn't realize it until we got to Vero Beach from Winter Haven. And so had to go to a store to get a glove. It was that glove. It was a fastback Wilson, and it had two-tone to it. And I found a pair of Adidas cleats. Now here's the deal. My contracts were with Nike and Rollins. And would you not know it that one of my baseball cards that year was a shot from behind home plate with me in full leg kick, glove open, Wilson Adidas.
I'm starting to find a pattern in that behavior.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I tried to black them out because it was, they were not the brands I should have been sporting. And I tried to black them out, but you could clearly tell that someone had tried to black out the brands that they were not supposed to be wearing. And it turned out to be on a baseball card, and no one cared. That goes to show you where my career was headed. No one cared.
Were those shoes, did they make you a little faster? Was that the beginning?
The shoes?
Yeah.
No. Listen, they were not speed shoes.
I got you.
Yeah. They were a corner infielder type.
Yeah.
Maybe a pitcher with the slide step.
Yeah.
Yep. And the glove was huge. And of course, I got like 3 comebackers in my 3 innings of work.
There you go. Walk on 4 pitches to Brad Miller. Well, here's Evan Longoria against Chaz Rowe, which is a strike call. Evan 0 for 2 with a walk so far tonight. Rowe tries not to throw anything straight.
He's successful.
2-1. Bailey on a ground ball. He struck out Forsythe and then walked Miller. 2-1 to count to Evan. And that one found the zone. It's 2-2. Evan would like the count to be 3-1, but it's 2-2. Back in at first, Miller. Ward with his second walk, 2 walks and a base hit for Miller tonight. Officially 1 for 2, and he's the runner over there. Oh, strike 3 call. Just barely caught the corner. Started in and caught the edge. We go to the 7th, tied 3-3. Lone to rocket arms, Chris Archer and Giovanni Gallardo. Archer 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 innings.
Chris Archer off to a great start. We saw that changeup early once again. That makes the fastball a little bit better. And then Pedro Alvarez gets a fastball here that not elevated enough at middle of the plate. That would cut the deficit in half. And you see that slider off the end of the plate to Machado, a fastball in on Chris Davis, trying to regain some of that mojo. But here we are in the 7th in a tie ball game.
Well, and here's the guy who really has been the problem for Archer. Pedro Alvarez has homered and has doubled. He scored a run on that home run. He drove in a run with a double in the 5th. Archer's behind him here in the 7th inning. 2-0. Erasmo Ramirez throwing in the Rays bullpen right now. That's a strike. It's 2-1. It's Michael Gibbons getting loose in the bullpen down the left field line for Baltimore. 2-2. Sharply hit, guarding the line. Morrison back at first makes that play, and that is out number 1 in the 7th. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. here from Matt Moore. The lefty will be on the hill. And Orestes will break down Chris Davis. Coverage begins at 5:30 tomorrow. Don't forget Brett Michaels after the game. He has a big circle around that date on his calendar.
In red, thick red. Big game.
Pick out the right bandana.
I do have all the colors.
There you go. Strike on Rickard.
You go with the traditional red, mix it up, go black, blue. I mean, who knows, Dwayne? A lot of decisions need to be made. Next 24. And the simple fact that I'm going to be tailgating anyway, and you're going to do the second half of the game yourself.
Yeah. Well, if you're out there tailgating, bandana's going to come in handy.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Especially, right? Bald, hot out.
Probably get a work-in out during the tailgating.
It'll be a complete disaster when I come back up here to join you.
Two balls and a strike. Chris Archer in a tie game, top of the order on deck. There's a strike. Chris has not won a game since the 6th of June when he beat Arizona 6-4. Shortstop. Miller makes the play, and it's scooped by Morrison on the other side. Nice pickup by Morrison. Miller's throw wide to the outfield side.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play by Logan Morrison. This is not an easy scoop. It's not like this is bang, bang, dirt into the glove. This is wide and well short. He makes the play nonetheless.
2 up, 2 down in the 7th. Now Adam Jones, the right side, slicing foul. And they get a souvenir down there in the Papa John's bullpen box. Upstairs. 1-1. High popper on the infield. Down from third. Fair ball, and Longoria makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Orioles. 7th inning stretch coming, tied 3-3. High game here at Tropicana Field, opening game of this weekend series. Rays and the Orioles. Pedro Alvarez home run and an RBI double. Luke Maile making his season's debut here against the Orioles for the Rays. Has a couple of hits and a run batted in. Michael Gibbons, the new pitcher, a local product out of Plant High. Tampa, and the first pitch to Logan Morrison is a ball. Good arm. Good 90s right away with that first pitch.
Well, yeah, he's got a lot going for him. You see the strikeouts per and the innings, 35th appearance, but the little sidewinding, the little half turn, and then you talk about the stuff. The key is, can he keep it in the zone?
Two balls, no strikes, the count. And ball three.
This is the issue. Like I said, there's a lot to like here. You like the little half turn, some deception, try to hide the arm angle. A difficult arm angle to deal with because you're only going to see him for one at bat. And then, of course, the stuff. Usually you don't see that kind of velocity from down here. But just trouble finding the zone sometimes for Michael Gibbons.
3-1. Howard 0 for 5, Rowe for 1. Now Gibbons. And there is ball 4. Second time Morrison has walked tonight. One on, nobody out. Kiermaier Claus coming to town. Kids 14 and under get a Kiermaier Claus bobblehead presented by TGH Children's Medical Center. Sunday, July 17th, the Rays take on the Orioles. Make sure to come out and be merry with the Rays. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Kevin Kiermaier Claus bobblehead. Souza Jr. tries to bunt. Almost hit by that pitch. Hit it around 95. Morrison back in at first. Rays got a run in the first, driven home by Steven Souza Jr. A run in the second, a run in the third. Now leadoff man on in the 7th. And he swings, popping it into shallow center. Adam Jones makes the catch. And that's out number 1.
Now this is an interesting matchup right here. You know, Gibbons with that arm angle, a little bit easier for the left-handed hitter to see. And the way that he works down in the zone, which is where Corey Dickerson likes the ball. So, a chance to get one into his wheelhouse.
Dickerson singled and scored in the third. 1 for 3. He takes a strike on the outside corner at the knees.
Well, there's down in the zone and there's really, really good down in the zone.
Yeah, that was as good as you're going to get. Yeah. So can he do it again? He got that one up.
Yeah.
0-2 the count.
Learn that little move right there, this arm angle, and then run that ball up in the zone, a la Darren O'Day. Learned from a teammate with more velocity.
Keeping an eye on Logan Morrison. Got a big out with Souza. Now 2 strikes on Dickerson. Geyer on deck. A foul ball right there. The fastball keeps this at bat going.
Well, they continue to try to work him up in the zone, and he continues to shorten the swing and foul these pitches off.
It's a chopper foul. Dickerson's hit came in the third when he scored the third run of the game for the Rays. And a line drive to first, caught by Davis. They'll get the double play, 3 unassisted. No runs, a walk, double play, nobody left. A liner right to Davis as he came off the bag, right to where the ball was hit. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com today. By Hawaii's Kona Brewing Company. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Well, we go to the 8th, and Chris Archer, with 102 pitches under his belt through 7, goes out there to start the 8th. And he'll face Jonathan Scope, the second baseman, to lead it off. Ray's bullpen will be busy behind him. Cedeno and Ramirez both up as we start the 8th. And a big cut on that high fastball. Strike 1 to Scope. It's Cedeno, Xavier Cedeno, the lefty. And Ramirez had been up earlier. High fly ball deep to left, sends Geyer all the way to the wall, and it is gone. Chris Archer surrenders the home run to Scope. Scope hitting his 15th, and that makes it 4-3.
He got him with the fastball up, strike 1, and then hung a breaking ball, and Scope was all over it.
Scope having a great year for the Orioles. Good young second baseman with power, and we saw it there. His 15th home run of the year. lifting a fly ball into center. And Kiermaier makes the catch on that one. You know, Scope hit the ball back in the 5th inning to the warning track in center off a slider. And he made no doubt about connecting with the slider this time. Back with a new pitcher in a moment. And what was at one time a 3-0 ball game is now 4-3 Baltimore. And as he departs, unless the Rays can come back after the 7 1/3 105 pitch outing for Archer, allowing 4 runs on 7 hits, he is the pitcher of record right now.
It was a great start by Chris Archer. All of a sudden, the home run here in a 2-0 game. This would make it 2-1, a big shot. And up to that point, that was the one mistake that Chris Archer would make. A good slider there to Manny Machado, a fastball catching Chris Davis looking. And then after the Baltimore Orioles would continue to chip away, Rays had a 3-1 lead, 3-2. They tied it up. And then Jonathan Scope to lead off the 8th inning here. On the second pitch of the inning, got a hanging breaking ball, and he gave Baltimore the lead. Didn't see that one coming.
Cedeno's first pitch, a strike to Chris Davis. 36th appearance for the Rays left-hander. Well, the Rays will have 2 shots left right now, down by 1. It's 1-1. For Archer, this is 3rd longest outing of the year in terms of innings. 8 innings against the Yankees back at the end of May. A week and a half into June, 7 2/3 against Houston. 7 1/3 tonight. Pitch up, 2-1. High fly ball, not overly deep. Souza Jr. makes the catch. 2 gone. Archer came into this game 4-12, leading the majors in losses. There's 12 losses, a club record before the All-Star break. Albie Lopez lost 11 in 2001. And this year, with the 12 losses for Chris, first pitcher to lose 12 before the All-Star break since Joe Blanton in 2013 was 2-12. I don't know the count to Mark Trumbo. play. 1-1. Right-hander Brad Brock up in the bullpen now for Baltimore. Shot down toward the bullpen.
Well, this is where the Rays are going to have their work cut out for them. As you see Kevin Jepsen up in the Rays bullpen, is the back end of that Oriole pen, and they have a 1-run lead now to work with.
Pitch in on him, bounds it back. That was well in. Almost defending himself, swinging at that pitch to foul it.
That's the same idea with Cedeno here as it is with Chaz Rowe. Nothing straight. And for Cedeno, boy, he cuts it, curveball, everything moving. And if you're a right-handed hitter, it's going to become boring in on you.
Ground ball left side. Scooped by Longoria, and the throw to first. Top of the 8th is over. Baltimore a run on the Scope home run. Rays down 4-3. Half of the 8th, our Toyota inside look. Pitching matchup here for the next 2 days. Matt Moore tomorrow for the Rays, Chris Tillman for Baltimore. Our coverage begins at 5:30 tomorrow. Then on Sunday, 12:30 airtime, Jake Odorizzi against Dylan Bundy. And the Orioles excited about having Bundy available, healthy, and pitching well.
Well, you know what they had done with him is they were pitching him every 4 or 5 days out of the bullpen for multiple innings. The Rays saw him. This stuff is outstanding. He wanted to get back to starting, but you just wonder how long he's going to be able to go, and that's attempt number 1 for the Orioles to shore up their rotation.
Now the new pitcher's Brad Brock. A couple of other changes as well. Brock on for the 41st time.
That ERA.
Geyer ahead 2-0.
You need a base runner. You're only down a run.
Three and nothing. Well, if you need a base runner, this might be the guy to have up there. Geyer with Kiermaier on deck. Three and one. Got Givens just left. He becomes the pitcher of record. He was 6-1. Brock comes in from the bullpen following him, and he's 6-1. Ground ball. One hop out to Hardy, and he's going to throw out Geyer. Sound like the bat
Splinter.
bit the dust as well.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. That Brad Brock, you know, he's tall, lanky, throws across his body a little bit, has great stuff, was an all-star.
So Kevin Kiermaier about to step in. The other changes. Nolan Reimold is in left, and Joey Rickert moves over to play right field. Hey, there's a shot. Look out through the bullpen. Boy, that was a hot shot in a crowded area.
And Scott Kersey, the enforcer, didn't turn his back and had a hard time getting, well, watch right here. Can't get over there to make the play in time. Curled right around him. That ball knew better than to hit him.
That's right. There's a little chopper down to first, and Davis makes the play on the short hop unassisted to get Kiermaier. 2 gone. Yeah, can you imagine how angry the enforcer would have been at that baseball? Baseball wanted no part of that kind of anger.
No. It had a little action on it. Just let me get around you.
There he is.
How many
concentration so great down there? It didn't make any difference.
How many pitches do you think he's caught?
That is a great question.
I mean, think about it.
Yep. Scott Kersey right down there. Now Oswaldo Arcia will pinch hit for Luke Maile. Pops it up. That's a foul ball. Going to carry out a play. Arcia, our pinch a penny pinch hitter. By the way, the Rays have, as we saw earlier, Jepson in the bullpen, but Alex Colomé has joined him. A little bit high with that pitch. 1-1. There's Colomé, the Rays all-star, on the left side of your screen, and Jepson, who just rejoined the Rays today. 2-1. The Rays here in the bottom of the 8th, down by 1 run. Big cut and a miss takes the count to 2-2. Arcia trying to tie it with that cut.
Yeah, and not happy. He got a pitch there, was out over the plate, took a big swing, came up empty, and immediately you could see not thrilled with the fact that he didn't powder that ball.
Pounds another fastball back. That one in the upper part of the zone. Rays have out hit Baltimore by 1. They trail by a run. And a cut and a miss. Arcia out on strikes. We're going to head into the 9th. 4-3 Baltimore.
son. The Rays trailing the Orioles 4-3 as we head into the night. And a familiar face on the mound, albeit a new face for the Tampa Bay Rays. Kevin Jepsen just signing with the team yesterday. He's going to get his first appearance tonight facing these Orioles. Spoke to him before the game a couple hours ago, guys. He is thrilled to be back here for any number of reasons, and the Rays are just as thrilled to have him, not only because they feel like he could fix his poor performance from the first half of this year when the Twins released him, but also because of his veteran presence in the clubhouse. Matter of fact, a lot of Rays players and coaches texted Jepsen lobbying for him to sign with this team since he had other offers, one of those being Evan Longoria. Guys, back to you.
And here is Kevin Jepsen on the hill here in the 9th inning. The Rays down by 1, and he faces Matt Wieters. First pitch is a strike, and that one ended 93. And that's the thing about Jepsen, even with the Twins, his velocity was still good. Location not so good.
No, and you know that's something that Kevin Jepsen, he's a veteran, and that's something that he will work out. I think it was a great addition.
Morrison in foul territory takes care of that one, and so Wieters is out of there. Yeah, I agree with you. Kirk Casale now catching. The other move with
Number 2,
Bailey lifted for the pinch hitter. Yeah, when he left last year in that deal, he was missed.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yep. He brings that old school toughness to the team, to the bullpen, sets a good example.
Strike Hardy.
And it's not like the stuff is suffering. Matter of getting it back into the right zones, and Kevin Jepsen will be just fine.
It's a strike. 2. Archer worked 7 1/3. Cedeno 2/3. Jepsen with an out here in the 9th. Ball 2 strikes. Curveball bouncing in. There's Zach Britton. And he has special stuff coming out of that bullpen to close for Baltimore.
And so far this season, 27 out of 27. If you're in that Rays dugout, you're saying he is due. And he's got to face the top of the Rays order.
And a miss again. That breaking ball in the dirt. Alvarez will be next. Ground ball, and right there is Forsythe. Right back with the fastball, and he gets Hardy. Yellowwood bringing the lumber, and that connotation belongs to Pedro Alvarez with a long home run and the double.
Well, the fastball right down the middle, shot out to center field. And then in this at-bat here, he gets a changeup away, and you see the power there. Rifles that ball an inch or two from getting out of the yard, but that would score J.J. Hardy, further get into that Rays lead.
This is a strike to Alvarez. Washington beat Pittsburgh. Strasburg, the winner, 8 innings. And a 5-1 win. He's 13-0 now. 2 strikes on Alvarez. Two down, 2 strikes to count on Alvarez. strikes. Close. 2-2. And a pop-up on the infield. Longoria makes the call. He's got it. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Braves down by 1. Bottom of the ninth inning, Rays will be facing Zach Britton, and they'll send the top of the order up there against this lefty. He's about as perfect as you can be out of the bullpen. And here's Logan Forsythe taking ball 1.
Yeah, on the strength of a sinker that'll get up into the mid-90s, and you do not see that very often, and that's why Zach Britton has been so successful.
1-1.
You know it's coming. You're hoping to get one that stays up with less movement and try to make something happen with it.
Chop to the right side. Scope scoops and makes the throw. And Forsythe is the first out. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers. It'll be Rich and Orestes anchoring. We'll hear from Kevin Cash at his press conference and interviews from the clubhouse. Scope the difference in this game right now on the strength of his 8th inning home run. And here's Brad Miller in against Britton. That one a little frightening, right over the top of the helmet.
Trying to throw the breaking ball, the slider, and that ball just squirts out of the hand of Britton.
How about that? Really?
Pretty good adjustment.
1-1. Rays had some opportunities early to expand the lead. They were 2 of 8 in the first 3 innings with men in scoring position. Not so much lately. They're 2 of 9 overall on the night. 1-2 the count to Miller. Shot into right field toward the line, on the move, and it's going to drop. Rickard couldn't get there, and Miller's on his way to second. That one drops in for a double, and the Rays are in business.
Well, I did not think that that ball was going to drop in. I mean, it was a breaking ball off the end of the bat. I thought Joey Rickard was going to be able to get there, right off the end. Just trying to put that ball in play. And let's take a look. Yeah, I think that the decision was, if I'm going to get that, I'm going to have to lay out and dive. You do that and you don't come up with it, and that's going to be 3 bags at least. Played it safe, but it turns into a double, and the Rays with a real good shot here.
Well, Evan Longoria 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. 5 of 19 in his career against Britain. Into the dirt, down to third goes Miller. A wild pitch on the first delivery to Longoria. Now the potential tying run 90 feet away.
See Wieters trying to backhand that ball, make a perfect snatch right here. Not able to do it. Gets up over the leg, misses the glove, and the Rays in business here.
And now with a man at third, they're going to walk Longoria. So they've decided to put the potential go-ahead run on base, which sets up a double play possibility, takes the bat out of Longoria's hand. They have Logan Morrison coming up next. You see Souza and Morrison alongside each other there. So Evan will not get a chance. He goes to first.
Yeah, that's a case right there of Buck Showalter saying Evan Longoria is not going to be the guy. Runner on third, too good of a hitter, too accomplished. Doesn't even want to mess with him. Go with the left-on-left matchup here. Like you said, Dwayne, you got that double play chance if need be.
Well, Logan 0 for 3 in his career against Britain. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of walks. Morrison tries to bunt and bunts it foul.
You know, that is a blast from the past there. First and third, 1 out. This is the bunt opportunity, bunt chance right there, taken by Logan Morrison. Just fouls it off for strike 1. That ball caught Logan Morrison on the thumb.
It appears
Something.
that it did. You know, early in the game, he was feeling it in the right hand. He's feeling it in the left hand now after that bunt attempt.
He says he's all right, back in there. And that's where it gets tough with Britain. We saw the good breaking balls to Brad Miller, but then you've got the sinker to worry about down and in. Watch this dart under the swing.
Yeah, at 97.
Right. You know, you just don't see that kind of movement on pitches that hard.
And out on strikes again. 97 right in there, same spot with that sinker.
Right fielder number 20, Steven Souza Jr.
2 outs and Steven Souza Jr. will hit. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Drove in a run with a ground ball in the first to give the Rays a 1-0 lead in the first. 0 for 2 in his career against Britain. One. There's such velocity and such movement.
Maybe take one of those right into the dirt with a lot of movement.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, and for the most part, it's off of that one pitch. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Not only is that tough on the hitter, but how tough is it going to be on Matt Wieters? 97 with that kind of movement in the dirt, and you've got a backhand. This one he's able to get.
Now a ball and a strike. Foul ball takes it to 1-2. With 1 out, Brad Miller doubled. Was wild pitch to third on the first pitch to Longoria. The Orioles walked Evan intentionally. Britton made quick work of Morrison. And it's now 1-2 on Steven Souza Jr. He takes one close, but down 2-2.
An interesting battle going on here, trying to get Souza Jr. to chase that sinker, and at the same time trying not to skip it to the backstop where the Rays would tie this game.
It's all over. Souza Jr. out on strikes. And the Baltimore Orioles win the first game of this 3-game series. We'll take a look at that final pitch.
Got him to chase it. Kept it out of the dirt, barely.
And so the Orioles win it 4-3. They leave 4. The Rays leave 11. 4-7-0 for Baltimore. 3-9-0 for the Rays. Gibbons now 7-1. The 28th save for Britton. Archer 4-13. 3 hours even to play this one. We'll be with you tomorrow 5:30. Rays and the Orioles in the middle game of this series. For Brian Anderson and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers, comes your way next.